बात तो मैं ये बताऊंगा कि हमने किस ऑपरेशन में प्रूफ दिया है। प्रूफ देना और या प्रूफ पूछना अपने ही सेना से, मेरे ख्याल से ये हमारे हमारे देश में एक नया चलन शुरू हुआ है। It gave an impression of the world falling on the side of India, and therefore the Chinese felt that if they have to reinitiate their BRI initiative, etc., then they must at least have calm on one of their fronts. The Indian action of a 360-degree approach, whole of government approach, using diplomatic, military, economic measures to tie down China was something which paid handsome dividends. I think the Chinese were realizing that they are hitting a hard nut.
Hello, friends. This is Abhishek, and today we are with Lieutenant General Dushyant Singh. I welcome him to our channel. Friends, today we will have short discussion with him, and I hope you all will enjoy it. So let's start.
First of all, a very good evening to all the viewers of YouTube and your followers. सबसे पहले बात तो मैं ये बताऊंगा कि हमने किस ऑपरेशन में प्रूफ दिया है। हम हमेशा ये बोलते हैं कि हमने एक ऑपरेशन कंडक्ट किया है, इसमें हमें सक्सेस मिली है या नहीं मिली है, ठीक है। तो जहाँ तक ऑफिसर्स का टीवी पर आकर के बताने का सवाल है, वो किया गया। अगर आप देखेंगे तो तीनों सर्विसेज के ऑफिसर, आर्मी और एयरफोर्स दोनों के ऑफिसर्स थे जो टीवी पे आए, लगातार आए, 2-3 बार आए और उन्होंने प्रूफ दिया। चाहे वो पुलवामा का इंसिडेंट हो, प्रूफ नहीं, वक्तव्य दिया कि हमने ये कार्रवाई की और इसमें इतने टेररिस्ट मारे गए। अब प्रूफ देना और या प्रूफ पूछना अपने ही सेना से, मेरे ख्याल से ये हमारे देश में एक नया चलन शुरू हुआ है। ये होना नहीं चाहिए था और मैं समझता हूँ ये सरासर गलत है। इसमें कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम कई चीज़ें सिक्योरिटी के को ध्यान में रखते हुए नहीं बताते हैं। हम उतनी ही चीज़ बताते हैं जितनी कि हमारे देश की जनता को ज़रूरत होगी। मेरा ये मानना है कि अगर हम एक ऑथेंटिक सोर्स द्वारा, जो कि हमारे डीजीएमओ थे उस टाइम पर, उन्होंने बताया आकर के, रणबीर सिंह थे जो पहली बार, और फिर दूसरी बार एडीजीएमओ आए थे, तो उन्होंने आके बताया कि हमने ये कार्रवाई की। और एयरफोर्स के भी वाइस चीफ आए थे, उन्होंने भी बड़ा क्लियरली बताया और कि ऐसे ऐसे हुआ, कुछ वीडियो भी दिखाए गए। लेकिन इसका प्रूफ अपने आप ही बाद में आ गया, जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं। कई सारी एजेंसीज ने कंफर्म किया कि 300 के करीब, इनफैक्ट पाकिस्तान के ही लोगों ने कंफर्म किया कि वहाँ 300 लोग मारे गए थे। पहली बात तो मेरे हिसाब से प्रूफ देने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है और ना ही देना चाहिए। इसमें सिक्योरिटी रिलेटेड इश्यूज होते हैं, कुछ गवर्नमेंट के डिप्लोमेटिक कंपल्शंस भी होते हैं। अब चाइना ने आज तक अभी पूरा कैजुअलिटी फिगर्स नहीं दी हैं, सिर्फ 4 को फिगर दिए और उन 4 को अवार्ड दिया है। तो इसका मतलब बाकी कोई डेथ्स भी नहीं बताई, ना कैजुअलिटीज़ बताई हैं। और इंसिडेंट इतना बड़ा था, ज़रूर इंजरीज और कैजुअलिटीज़ हुई होंगी। धीरे धीरे वो भी बाहर आएगा। इन एनी केस एजेंसीज ने कंफर्म किया है, अमेरिकन एजेंसीज ने कंफर्म किया है 30 प्लस लोगों की मौत और कई लोगों का इंजरीज के बारे में। कुछ एजेंसी, रशियन एजेंसी ने इसको कंफर्म किया है। हमें लड़ाई में हमेशा प्रूफ लेने के लिए लड़ाई नहीं लड़ते हैं। जब आप लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं किसी के साथ, तो पहले आप क्या सोचते हैं? पहले आप ये सोचते हैं कि हम दुश्मन को मारें और अपने आप को बचाते हुए वहाँ से निकल आए। प्रूफ लेने के लिए हमको अगर वहाँ बैठेंगे तो अपनी जान गंवानी पड़ेगी। तो इसलिए हमें आई थिंक ये इस तरह के सवाल ही नहीं करने चाहिए। अगर हमारी सेना के अध्यक्ष, चीफ ये बोल रहे हैं या डीजीएमओ बोल रहे हैं, हमें मानना चाहिए। At the outset, I would like to welcome the ceasefire agreement which has been initiated between India and Pakistan. You see, lives are precious, and any method by which we can save lives, it is a welcome step. However, what we need to understand is as to why and how this ceasefire has come about. There are two factors to it. First, I will cover Pakistan. What are the realities in Pakistan? See, Pakistan's internal situation is very, very bad. It has problems in Balochistan. It also has problems in the POK. There is an internal unrest in Gilgit-Baltistan. And as you know, along the Afghanistan-Pakistan border in the west, there is a continuous disturbance going on. Its economy is in a very bad state. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have actually asked for their money back, which was roughly to the tune of $1 billion. The IMF loan interests are pending on it. It has to repay that. The Chinese loans are now due to be paid back to Chinese. The Chinese are not forthcoming to give soft loans anymore. They are now in fact looking at giving loans at a much higher rate of interest. It has the sword of FATF, which is the Financial Action Task Force, hanging on it. In a nutshell, even the CPEC, if you see, has been, its activities have stopped of late. And all this when clubbed with what is happening to China. For example, Chinese had expected that India would blink with what it did along our eastern Ladakh borders. But India stood firm, and in Galwan we actually paid back to them right and proper. Also, our action in the Kailash range actually was the strategic turning point of the entire Ladakh incident, as I would put it, because I won't call it as an intrusion as such, right? So, in addition, following this particular action, the Indian action of a 360-degree approach, whole of government approach, using diplomatic, military, economic measures to tie down China was something which paid handsome dividends. To top it, the Indian approach to the COVID problem vis-a-vis what the Chinese were doing. Chinese were doing a predatory approach of making money during the COVID crisis, whereas India distributed free COVID vaccines to needy countries around the South Asian region. It actually distributed PPEs, masks, etc., etc. We were initially, incidentally, we used to import all these equipment, and within a span of 2 to 3 months, we became net exporters. So all this really enhanced the image of India in the eyes of the world community. And when you look at the Quad started strengthening. It gave an impression of the world falling on the side of India. And therefore, the Chinese felt that if they have to reinitiate their BRI initiative, etc., then they must at least have calm on one of their fronts. See, they are already engaging in the South China Sea with the countries of the South China Sea. They are almost. They were expecting that Biden would. The taking over of presidency by Biden would actually lead to normalization or at least stabilization in the economic sphere between US and China. That doesn't seem to be happening. So therefore, they did want to make one front at least calm or peaceful. So I think all this clubbed with the fact that the Indian soldiers have proved their might in the Himalayas. You see, our experience of fighting in the Himalayas is tremendous. Kargil is the world's highest battlefield. No country has fought a war on heights as high as the Kargil. Plus Siachen, it's also known as the world's highest battlefield. Our troops have been surviving in that area. So therefore, when it came to survival post the Galwan incident in the areas of Pengang Tso, then Kailash ranges, then in the areas of Hot Spring, Gogra, all those areas where we are having the current, we were having the face-off with the Chinese, we came out better. And I would salute my soldiers for having proved their mettle in such a hard and difficult terrain, weather conditions. I think the Chinese were realizing that they are hitting a hard nut. So all this, when you look at it in a combined manner, then you would realize that the ceasefire offers are not coming just off the table. They are coming because of a tremendous whole of government approach of India towards both China as well as Pakistan. So therefore, we feel that we have achieved a very decisive victory in this particular face-off, both with the Chinese and the Pakistani. Now, so therefore we must welcome this, because it gives us the opportunity now to kickstart our economy, which had taken a beating in the Corona period. You would realize that our growth had become negative. But the way we have recovered from that, the IMF predicts that we would be probably seeing a double digit, which is going to happen for the first time. I think the prediction is about 11.7% growth rate of the Indian economy, which is creditable as far as this government is concerned. So therefore, to do that, to get that growth, we also need that respite, that period of peace and stability, because unless we have that, we cannot actually kickstart our economy. So I think we welcome the ceasefire. But the important question about trust, which you have asked, it's a very important question. Look, there is a huge trust deficit between India and China. So India and China and India and Pakistan, both sides. We have had 5 agreements with China, 1993 on to 2005. China has backstopped us a number of occasions. You take Doklam, you take Depsang, you take Chumar, you take Sumdrangcho. There are a number of incidents where the Chinese have not honored their commitment of resolving issues through dialogue and border talks, and adhering to the protocols which have been laid down along the LAC and along the McMahon line in the east, as far as the incidents which happen across the LAC are concerned. If you look at Pakistan, similar story. 2001, Akshardham, Parliament attack, Akshardham, Mumbai attack, 1992, Mumbai bombings, then closer home, Pathankot attack, Uri, Pulwama. I mean, we have trusted so much, but we have always been betrayed. So therefore, as far as trust deficit goes, I would say trust deficit is in the minus, not even in a narrow gap. It is in the minus. So therefore, my sense is that the government of India, as also the other two, I mean our adversaries, have taken a temporary pause. Okay, for the government of India, it would be better, or it is better, and I'm sure the government is doing accordingly, to continue to focus on its military capabilities, because upgrading the military capabilities ensures deterrence. That deterrence will lead to peace and stability, and only when we have peace and stability will we have economic growth. People will come to invest into the country, and hence the subsequent process of well-being of the country will be ensured. So therefore, my final comment on this is, yes, there is a trust deficit, but we must tread with caution and continue to remain active as far as our intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance is concerned, so that if we are likely to be surprised, we should proactively preempt any action either by the Chinese or by the Pakistanis, and simultaneously build our military capability.